Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Welcome, Jobfather Nation. We're excited to be back. And as a reminder, NTX Radio is a podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world. So tune in on TuneIn Radio. And you can also go to the NTX Radio app on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play the NTX Radio. Sorry, I can't say that loud because it'll happen in the background. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners for helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Please be sure to connect with Todd Hurd & Associates, attorney at law, for all your civil law needs at texasattorneylaw.com. We are really excited to be here. We have a really good show today focused on networking and building relationships, the communication and the alignment we have with individuals that we build genuine relations with and also network with as we go throughout life. With that being said, before we get started, and I turn everything over to Foster for a dad joke and introduction and any announcements, let's bow our head for a quick word of prayer. Father God, thank you for the privilege to be here today. Thank you so much for the privilege to be able to partner with and align with the Jobseeker, job help community. We are honored to be here, and I ask that you would open up doors of opportunity for all individuals out in this world looking for great opportunities. And as we go into this Christmas season, help us to remember the true meaning of the season. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, Foster,
Amen. Hey.
Sure thankful for you, and I'm sure thankful for Mez. Really glad we have Mez. She is our project manager. She also is another one of our co-hosts that is just amazing and jumps in when Foster and I are gone. We're very blessed to have Mez.
That's
yes,
right.
And we thank Tiffany. Don't hesitate to reach out to Tiffany if you would love to learn more about having a podcast or a show. Yes. She's amazing. Now, with that being said, Foster, what announcements and dad jokes do you have for us?
Well, we got a good dad joke. You guys may or may not laugh. I don't know. But you know what? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Jobfather. Yeah. And we're here. It's our time on Friday, you know.
It's our time.
Yeah. Like Dana said, we're going to be talking about connecting, guys. Why? And so what are some ideas that we have to connect? Why should we connect? What does it all mean? We're going to be talking about that. Dana and I are going to be talking about a lot of observations that we've seen in this network. Is 25 years old.
Oh, yes.
And we've seen a lot in serving you guys. We love to bring you guys companies that are looking to hire. We connect with people all around the globe. I see Rochelle Cornish is with us. Good morning, Rochelle. Rex is with us as well. Good morning, Rex. He's way out in Rex. You're in South Carolina now.
My Rex, God. Yes, Rex is in Greenville. I was in South Carolina. I texted Rex.
That's right.
Because I was in Charleston, thinking he was in Charleston, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in Greenville."
I don't know if he's going to be a USC fan. I mean, University of Southern California.
Not at UNC.
I mean, not University of Southern California,
or
but
South Carolina.
University of South Carolina. That is the USC that matters. You know, you see the shirt I got on right here. You know, I'm not a USC fan. On the West Coast.
I gotcha.
But
Longhorns.
Callum Keenan is with us. Good morning, Callum. Awesome, you guys. So, and Peter Leahy, if you're listening, you went to USC on the West Coast, and man, I love you, man. You're the only Trojan that I get along with. I think. No, I'm kidding. Guys, we're just having fun with this stuff. So it's USC, SC, UCLA weekend this weekend. So yay, I'm wearing my shirt. So guys,
it's a good weekend.
Okay, Dana. Usually we have jobs and we have notifications, and we like to let people know where they can go and find jobs and things that are going on. One thing I'm excited about, guys, is that even though we're heading into Thanksgiving is next week, people are still landing left and right these jobs.
Absolutely.
So the long and short of it is, guys, over the holidays, you guys keep your foot on the pedal. Keep moving forward. Things are happening. I'm glad to see that.
I am too.
Guys, one thing that we want to do is make sure and be cognizant of southlakefocusgroup.com. Now, a lot of you guys all around the nation can join us on Zoom. Just because we're in Southlake don't mean you can't come out and play. So go to southlakefocusgroup.com. It will give you everything. We meet every Thursday morning, and it is probably the premier networking group along with FriscoConnect.org around here. Me and Dana's job is to let you guys know what's going on. So, real quick, Dana, before I go to you, because I want to hear things that you're recruiting for, guys, Austin Industries is hiring. So go check out Austin Industries. All of you guys that are interested in construction, Austin is a huge construction company. I think,
They are.
be, be honest with you, I think Austin built half of Dallas.
I
Austin
mean,
Industries. We've got a good contact over there. If you see a job that you're a good fit for, contact me. Connect with me on LinkedIn if we haven't connected already. But check out Austin Industries and let's talk. And my buddy Jacob is a recruiter over there. So at any rate, check them out. And last week we had Tim Wheeler. Remember, Dana?
yeah, Tim was great. It was a great
Yeah.
time.
Tim
Really
Wheeler.
was. Mm-hmm.
Tim owns Wheeler Staffing Company, Wheeler Staffing Partners, guys, and they have they have a lot of clients that they are recruiting for. It is an RPO company. What you talking about, Foster? Recruitment process outsourcing.
Sourcing.
Because Dana and I know that every company doesn't have their own recruiters. So
not everybody does.
Yeah, yeah. So y'all check out Wheeler Staffing Partners and see what's going on over there. Tim was on our show last week. Dana and I know Tim, known him for a while.
Yeah.
So, he's the owner of the company, but there are other recruiters over there as well. But Tim is my connection, and I like to let everybody know what's going on. Dana, what you got going on?
Yeah,
Beacon
no,
Oil Specialist.
I appreciate that. We've got a lot of exciting things going on right now. So honestly, we are working on an M&A analyst, and that is part of our mergers and acquisitions business development team. Healthcare and investment banking experience required. We have an integration manager role, and we have 2 more revenue cycle management roles coming up. Both of them are different AR types of roles. One of them is on the patient side, one is on the insurance side. Healthcare type of AR experience required. So definitely go to beaconoralspecialists.com. Just go to their career section. We have got a slew of open positions.
Yeah, you guys really do.
Yeah,
All
it's
over the United
very
States, yeah.
exciting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see our buddy Gerard Robles with us. He's letting us know of another job fair that's going on.
Hey, Gerard.
Gerard, it's good to see you, and thank you for what you do. You are probably the premier networking person for what's going on across the globe. My buddy Gerard Roble, you guys might want to connect with Gerard, because when I say that he is a networker, oh my goodness. If you are anywhere in the United States, you probably want to connect with Gerard and find out what's going on in your neck of the woods. So, all right, now it's time for a dad joke. And I've got Amy with us this morning. I'm going to see if I can make Amy laugh and smile. Okay, so you guys, why did the police, it's about to be Thanksgiving, why did the police arrest the turkey? Boy, it's
He wanted to gobble.
Okay. That's a good try. That's good. I think we may have lost Dana. She'll probably be back on momentarily. But they suspected foul play.
That's good. That's good, Foster.
Okay, you guys are in the chat. You guys let me know. Grade me from 1 to 10. How was that one? All right, we'll have another one the second half of the show when Amy and I start talking about what she's looking for. So, okay, guys, let's talk about this connection that we need to be talking about, because a lot of times, guys, and when I say we, Dana and I, every week, and Mez suggest that you guys get out and connect with people personally when you can. We love Zoom. You can, if you're in Washington, D.C., hey, you heard about the South Lake Focus Group, but I don't live in Dallas Fort Worth. Well, you can join us on Zoom. And it is good, but it's always better when you're in person, guys. So if there is a meeting somewhere, we call them general networking groups. You want to get out to those things and meet people in person. I don't know. It just does a better thing. So while I am here, guys, let's talk about how this thing works. So I've got an example. I have a good friend named Polly Malloy that is up in Chicago. She is in Jobsearch. You guys look up Polly Malloy on LinkedIn. So she suggested that I connect with this Amy. Oh my goodness. There Amy is right there. There she is. I'm gonna talk about her a little bit. and Amy, tell us how to pronounce your first name.
Bounthanom.
Bounthanom.
Yes, blessed one.
You know, I was going to ask you what that meant.
Yes.
Absolutely. Amy Fleming is Bounthanom Fleming, guys. So we want to say that right. When I first saw that, I thought that was her last name. Amy said, no, you got to understand, Foster. That's my first name. And so I said, okay, you got to teach me how to pronounce that. My mom was an English teacher, and if I don't pronounce things right, she'll get mad at me. And so we got it right. We got it right, Mom. Guys,
Wonderful.
I met Amy, and immediately, it was immediate. It doesn't always happen this way, but immediately I connected. You know, when you meet some people, you just like some people.
You
You
just
get along
know.
with some people. Yeah, exactly. And it was immediate. I bet I didn't even know Amy for like 5 minutes, and I was wondering. I said, okay, Amy's looking for a job, and I know that Polly has suggested that she connect with me. As here we go with that networking thing, folks. So I found out that Amy was an HR specialist. Now we're going to be talking about her director of HR positions and her people operations positions on the second half of the show. So
Awesome.
Dana and I always suggest that you guys get out, because if you get out amongst people, you will make relationships with some of the best people. You will realize that you are not in the search by yourself. And you find
Absolutely.
out, hey, you find out about Dana, how many jobs would you figure don't ever even make it to the open market to where we see them posted and all that kind of stuff? What percentage of jobs
Well,
would
where I'm at currently, all of our jobs do, for the
uh-huh.
most part. Maybe 2 or 3%. The majority of them do. As the time has gone on, compliance laws have gotten a lot stricter.
Oh
So
yeah.
depending on if you're a publicly traded or a privately held firm, that can affect it. Most of the companies I've worked for are private. I have worked for a few that aren't. And the ones that I've worked for, very small percent don't make it out. Now, if I worked for a large company that was publicly traded,
Uh-huh.
that probably is even more strict as far as, protocols on giving internal applicants a chance. But it happens. I mean, it can happen from time to time.
Yeah, it does. Now
Mhm.
I'm gonna use that word significant, guys. I have been recruiting for. We won't talk about that because maybe there was theropods and brachiopods walking around on the earth
Oh
back
my gosh.
but you know what, guys? A significant amount of percentage, a significant percentage of jobs never even make it to the open market. Now, why are you saying that, Foster? Because I was a director of talent acquisition. So I sat in some of those meetings where jobs were created. Now, the first thing that happened especially for the executive level jobs, one that Amy's going to be looking for, when we come out of those meetings, the first thing it is we tap our inner circle. We ask, even before we leave the meeting, does anybody know anybody that does this need that we have? Do we have any internal applicants that you guys know of that might be interested in that opportunity? There are a number of things, guys, a number of reasons why we need to network with these people, connect with these people, because you can find out some of these things that never even make the open market. It's a
You can.
significant amount. Yeah. Well,
So,
go
and
ahead, Dana.
Foster, no, I think you bring up a really good point.
Mhm.
Regardless of each individual company and how they do things, and honestly,
Right.
every company is a little different. There are in the last 5 to plus maybe even 10 plus years, things have gotten stricter and stricter as far
Right.
as recruitment or talent acquisition and HR compliance. So that's a positive for our listeners. But
Yes.
getting out and meeting people and making an effort from it's not something you have to do every day, but what you might do, think about the field you're in. Okay. Have you gone on to LinkedIn and joined some of the groups? So if you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, have you gone on to LinkedIn and joined some of the professional groups that meet maybe once every other month, maybe once a quarter?
Uh-huh.
So you're meeting other people that do similar roles to you, or they're
Right.
in leadership positions above you, to continue to network and meet people. Do you volunteer at some of the things? Like, once you get a job, are you willing to volunteer from time to time at some of these job help network groups? These little things really build that network of people
Yep.
you get to know. And it kind of happens organically. The more you do and the more you put into it, the more connections you'll have, so that if you do find yourself in a position where you're in between roles, or wanting to transition, or looking for another job even though you're employed, maybe you're in a
Uh-huh.
bad situation, there's more people for you to reach out to, more connections. People hire people they like, and
Yeah. We'll say that again.
yeah, people hire people they like. And
Yeah.
honestly, referrals is one of the best ways to get interviews and
Yeah.
get hired.
Probably is the
You
best way.
still,
Yeah.
yeah, you still have to do your part. Like when I was unemployed for 4 months, about almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, I still went on to LinkedIn. I still looked at jobs every day. I looked at jobs on other platforms, and especially on LinkedIn, I would look to see if I was connected to whoever was advertising the job, or anybody that worked for that
Uh-huh.
company. And if I was, I went ahead and sent them a message. And I was just pleased with how many, some of them I was connected with, but didn't even know. But I attached my resume. I made sure to be clear that I was very well qualified for the role, would
There. That's
love an
important.
introduction. People were wonderful. They were wonderful, and they helped introduce. You would be surprised how kind people are in helping you network, even if you haven't met them in person. But balancing, just like with investments, you want to balance your basket of eggs, right? You don't just put all your eggs in one basket. You kind of
No
have
doubt.
a group of eggs. You might have a couple baskets and you put them in there. Balance who you know, balance with people you don't know, and pay it forward. Paying it forward, I made
Now
some good
that's the
relationships.
element of networking right there, paying it forward.
So important. And Foster, like, I had a couple recruiters reach out to me regarding a couple jobs,
Uh-huh.
and I really built good relationships with them. And like one of them, they ended up filling it, even though they had enlisted an agency to help them. I think they might have ended up filling it, like promoting someone internally.
Uh-huh.
No problem. I mean, companies do that. Well, like,
It makes
um,
good sense.
it does. Right after I got hired with the wonderful company I'm at right now, what was great was she called me back to see if I was still available and on the market. And even though I was happy and employed, I make an effort to check in and say hi from time to time. Not too much. I don't want to overdo it, but like checking in and thanking them. Think about, so when you're in between jobs and you're making connections right now, some of them
Mhm.
click and they're very responsive. Stay in touch with those people and help them pay it forward.
I
Look at
like to
what
add
Rochelle Cornish
something.
just said. Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. I
Yeah,
cut you
Amy.
off.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I love what you had said, and it popped in my head. I had a friend who I used to work with at the San
Yeah.
Francisco 49ers, and we kept in touch. And he asked
Oh,
me out
Oh,
for
that
lunch.
team. Okay.
He asked me out for lunch, and he says, "How are you doing? What's going on?" And I said, "I'm happy where I am." He's
I
like,
love it.
"What do you mean you're happy?" I go, "I am. I'm really happy." He goes, "Well, I have something to tell you." I go, "I don't want to hear it. If it's another job, I don't want to hear it. I'm happy." And then,
And
he
yeah,
goes,
if you're happy at your job, that's what's going to be your response. You're going to stay there. My God.
Yeah.
yes. So he talked me into entertaining the idea. When you're not even looking, you just don't know it. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
sometimes it just come unasked, uncalled for,
I
but
love it. Yep.
it's just meant to be.
Yep.
And I met with the CEO and it was fabulous. So sometimes you never
Uh-huh.
know what you're looking for, and your friends
Yeah.
are just helping you out when you least expect it. And with
Yep.
that referral, I took the offer and I treated him and gave him a referral bonus, my own, from my own
Oh,
paycheck,
see, yeah. Oh, then there's that
paying
part.
it forward.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that is amazing. I honestly love that you brought that up because
yeah.
it's so important and it came when you least expected it, right?
Yes.
But you maintained a good relationship and it really can make a difference.
Yeah, you maintain a
Totally.
good relationship with Laura, and didn't Laura stay after you about that job that you have right now, Dana?
Yeah, so Laura, um when I first got unemployed, the position wasn't open yet, but I think there were some things going on, but I wasn't really privy to too much of it. As
Sure.
soon as the role opened, Laura reached out to me right away, and I had the privilege of interviewing. She runs a very, very fair process. And so I went through the
Yeah, she
process just
does.
like everyone else, but I told her, well, I'm just going to have to go in and sell myself. And, just because you know someone doesn't mean it's always going to just be your job. You still have to go in and prove yourself. And I was blessed to do so and blessed to get the job. But yeah, having a connection with people is so important. And I know we don't have time necessarily to talk to everyone every single day. That can be kind of challenging. But, and I'm talking to myself, I need to do a better job. Because I know once, when
Me
when
too.
you're going, you get real busy, right? But
Right.
just keeping in touch with people, attending events, volunteering. But through the years, Facebook has been great. I've attended a
I know.
number
Yeah,
of
yeah.
I remember I used to go to Dallas Young Professionals. I've also gone to different, like, if I was recruiting and I needed to hire someone that did like Epic implementations at the hospital,
Ooh, I
I
should
would
have
go to
called you
the
when I had that
Epic
job.
Implementation Networker group. There's Epic, people that implement electronic healthcare systems, EHSs. There's a
Yes.
couple brands, Epic being one of them. They have their own networking group in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Guess who was
Uh-huh.
there? Recruiters. So go to those because you never know, even if you're not looking, go to those. Meet people in the industry, meet
Go.
leaders,
Yeah.
meet decision makers, meet recruiters, meet HR professionals. It's not just the people themselves that do that type of work that go, people that are looking for people to fill those roles go. And it's
Yes.
just a great way, even if you're not looking, like Amy said, build relationships. You may not want to take anything at the time, but you never know when that contact could come in handy.
I want to throw meetup.com out there because exactly
Ooh.
what Dana's talking about. If you guys have a focus on a certain software, if you have a professional association or something
Mhm.
that you want to be a part of, because being in HR, I used to be an HR director myself, believe it or not, I had that title, Amy. And I want to,
Experience.
yeah, yeah, I want to connect with other
Yeah,
HR people because we talk the same
exactly.
language, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And you
you can
can
go to
share knowledge.
meetup.com and put that information in. And sometimes, guys, there will be a number of groups that you will find information that you may be able to join. And hey, everybody's in HR, everybody's talking HR stuff. If you're in IT, you're talking IT stuff. You might be a programmer, you might put your specific programming language in and see if there is a group out there that focuses on that. Now, what you're
Yeah.
going to find in that group are other people that some that are looking for jobs, but a lot of people already have jobs and they know things that are going on, and you build relationships with those people. Guess what? If you build a relationship with Foster, I've got a big, huge network, one of the bigger ones in the United States, and you might find a company, you might find a job at a company called Beacon Oral Specialist.
Yeah.
And you might want to contact Foster and say,
Mhm.
Foster, do you know anybody at Beacon Oral Well, you know what? I know the recruiting manager at Beacon Oral Specialist, and there she is right there. Her name is Dana Gingerich. And I would be glad to send your resume to Dana, and we'll talk a little bit about why Dana should consider you for that job. And guess what? Guess
Absolutely.
what Dana's going to do? Dana, when you get an email like that from me or anybody, what do you immediately do?
Yeah, so typically what I'll do is respond to that group email to introduce, like, hey, it's great to meet you. Let's set up a time to connect. Now, it might be after hours,
Immediately. Mhm.
just because during the day sometimes it can get, just depends on what time of year,
Yeah.
can be kind of hectic. But like on the way home, I might be able to call that person,
Yeah.
and like I want to give a great example too, like Rex. So I didn't know Rex super well personally, but I knew Rex through working with Foster, and Rex is one
Probably
of
me talking
Foster's
about
best
Rick. Yeah,
friends.
exactly.
And Rex was on our show. Rex was at different networking events I went to with Foster. So we kind of built this friendship. And then it was the sweetest thing. As soon as I found myself unexpectedly in unemployed due to mass company layoffs globally, it wasn't just in the United States, it was all over.
And it's still rough for recruiters, even right now.
A little bit, yeah. It's getting better. But what I will
It's
say,
better.
and what is a blessing, is Rex reached out to me immediately. We chit-chatted. He was amazing. He made all these contacts. He sent my resume. He got people involved. He cares. He did his part. And so, one thing I learned is always, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but all of us, we should always try to pay it forward or do it proactively. All because we all know how it can feel sometimes, just being in between jobs. Of course, the right door will open. We can talk more in the second half.
Yes. We'll see you guys in a second.
Like 5 minutes.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Hello, Jobfather Nation. We are back for the second half, and we are super duper excited just to remind everybody, which is such an exciting thing to be a part of. NTX Radio is a podcast and radio collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard globally on the TuneIn Radio and on the NTX Radio app. You can listen on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask you know who to play NTX Radio. Can't say the name out loud because it will start doing it in the background. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Well, we are excited to hop in the second half. We are really looking forward to speaking with Amy, finding out a little bit more about her background. She's an incredible individual that Foster has begun building a wonderful relationship with, and I'm privileged to be able to do so as well. Foster, I can't remember. I was sorry, forgive me. I was wrapping up a comment. And I was trying to remember the last thing I was saying to just wrap it up, but I
Oh,
can't
you're
remember.
getting
So
gray hair,
let
girl.
yeah, you know it. You
I've known
know
you
it,
for a
but
number of years.
uh, yeah. I do want to say something though, everybody. I know during or after COVID, the market got tough for a couple years, but please rest
Uh-huh.
assured, not only has it been getting better and better, I'll be honest with you, it's across the board, it's getting better and better, even for
It
recruitment and
really
talent
is, yeah.
acquisition. Now,
Mhm.
some companies might slow down just a little bit in December because depending on the industry and the type of company, a lot of people take off during the holidays. But don't worry. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's
I
the time you
mean,
need to be getting out.
there is a ton of work out there.
Yeah, it
Just, you
is.
got to go through the process. You got to have faith, got to use your network. Speaking of using the network, Foster, share a little bit about how you met Amy, and we're so excited to hear from Amy.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. We got some folks on the show. Andrew Bisco is with us now. Andrew was on the show just not,
Hey,
what was it,
Andrew.
last week? Hey, Andrew.
Yay! So
And
excited. We have such great people with us. Oh, and
we really
Delane.
do.
Our
Delane, hey, Delane
Hey,
Hutchinson.
Delane. He's our regular participant, an amazing leader, and a big networker. Really good at
Delane's
getting
a
out.
pilot, and I'm not scared to get in the airplane with him.
Wow.
No,
There's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
pilots.
exactly.
I don't know. I get to know y'all. I'm not going to get in the airplane. Let y'all fly
Yeah.
me around.
Yeah, Delane's fabulous.
So,
He's a
guys,
big
Jim
believer in
Williams is with
networking.
us. That Williams, it's a Williams thing, Jim. Appreciate you being with us.
Yeah.
And Andrew, this is awesome. And Rochelle Cornish and Rochelle is I'm not gonna say just like me because I don't want to mess her up like that. But Rochelle and I love to talk. We immediately just were, and she even put it in the chat that she loves to engage in conversation. And she does, and that is a strength that Rochelle has. So Rochelle, thank you for joining us. Now, I got a dad joke for you guys.
Oh
Second half,
boy.
Amy, is the second half of the show dad joke.
Hold on, Amy. It's going to get a little bumpy.
Holding on to my chair.
Yeah, girl. I'm telling you, you never know what's going to come out of Foster's mouth.
You don't. So, guys, eggs and bacon walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve breakfast here."
Okay. Oh, are
I
they
said it
there
was
for
a
the
dad
Bloody
joke.
Mary?
Did not say it was a dad joke. Did I not say
No.
that?
Wait, that's it? That's the joke?
That's it. Eggs and bacon walk in the bar, and the bartender says, "We don't serve breakfast here."
I get it now. I was thinking, oh,
You know,
okay.
Dana is blonde, y'all.
We gotta ask for a shot, Dana. We gotta ask for a shot with the bartender.
I know. I'm like, after that joke, I became more blonde.
Maz, you liked my joke, didn't you? Yeah. Maz hang in there with me in my joke.
It was cute. It was cute, Foster. We're just
Jim
giving a hard
says, "Wah,
time.
ha, ha, ha." See, me and Jim got the Williams thing going. So, that's how that works. Andrew says, boom. Okay, guys, let me tell you something. That pretty lady right there below Dana on my screen, she's below Dana. I don't know if she's below Dana on y'all's screen, but that is it's Amy Fleming. Now,
Hi, Amy.
Her first name is Bounthanom. Now, I had to learn that. Amy, tell me and tell the folks, what is the origin of that name of Bounthanom?
Well, it's Laotian. I was born in Laos, and
That's right.
Yes, immigrated to America when I was 7 years old.
That's wonderful.
It's Bounthanom. Blessed.
Bounthanom.
Yes. So my name really takes up the full alphabet. It's Bounthanom Amy Sudapon Fleming. I chose to keep my
I love it.
I didn't know the Sudapon. I was going to ask you about the Sudapon.
So it really takes up the full alphabet.
It does.
It's okay. We love it. Hey, you're in Chicago right now?
No,
I'm
she's in
actually
Houston.
in Katy, Texas, in the Houston area.
Ooh,
Oh,
Katy
that's a
had good
beautiful
barbecue.
area. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I wish I
Beautiful.
moved here a long time ago. I moved here 3 years ago, and I love it, except for the heat. It's like a
Yeah.
sauna.
Well, then there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They always say Houston is the armpit of Texas, though. Houston, there's so many beautiful areas in Houston. It just gets
And
it
it
gets a
is
lot of the Gulf Coast
It's
humidity,
the
you know.
food capital. If you guys like food, and I know you
I've
do because you're still
heard.
living, guys, I'm not kidding. Houston is crazy. Houston got so much food.
That's
I will take
amazing.
that 200-mile drive down there because I got a couple of restaurants I like to go to down there.
Maybe
Just
we ought to
saying,
make a
and they
little
got good
road trip.
barbecue. You know, Dana, yeah, and then we can give the report about our road trip here on the show.
That would be so much fun.
We've got a big group down there. I think Amy is part of that group. I
Yay,
think I asked
Amy!
Amy if
Both of you
you are
guys are
part of.
welcome to come and
Thank
visit me. I'll
you.
make you papaya salad
Oh,
Oh, that sounds
really?
great.
and home fried chicken
Oh my! What
with
now?
sticky rice. With sticky
We're
rice. The
recruiters.
kids
We
really
like
like.
chicken.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
That does.
We're like,
So, Amy,
we'll be
wow,
there by dinner. Just kidding.
Amy,
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
make it for you.
exactly. Amy, are you part of Between Jobs Ministry down there? Did I mention BJM to you?
You have, and I messaged them, and I'm waiting to hear back. But yes,
Great,
I'd love to be
great.
part of that group too.
Guys, the biggest single networking group that I've ever been to is called BJM. It stands
Okay.
for Between Jobs Ministry. It is a part of the Northwest Bible Church down there
Okay.
in Spring, which is a little bit north of Houston. You don't have to drive all the way into Houston. It only takes about 3.5 hours to get to Spring. And it is a huge networking group. In the first year, guys, that I was a part of that group, there were 1,174 people that landed a job that
Wow.
1 year because of that group. So that group is
Wow.
very, very powerful. Mark Katz, Katz, is a good friend of mine. He's one of the leaders there. You guys might want to connect with Mark Katz on
Okay.
LinkedIn, especially you, Amy. But
Yeah.
Polly Malloy said, "Hey, Amy, you need to meet this character, Foster."
Oh boy.
And you know, within 5 minutes of talking to Amy, I connected with her so fast I knew she needed to be on the show. Amy, guys, has a long history of an HR directorship. Her last position, she was companies. I want you to hear this. She's a senior people operations director. So
Wow.
that is perfect for Amy. Amy,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the people party of what you do, people operations. What does that mean? What's that
Yes.
all about?
Share.
Yeah, tell that.
It's bringing people together and having them do their best job ever. And it's
Mhm.
showcasing their capability, their expertise, making sure that the managers have time to focus on the strategic focus of the company and where their targets are. So that if you hire an expert, let them competently do their jobs. That's what you hire them to do.
Hello.
It's that simple.
That's good advice.
Amy, exactly what you did in HR is what I did in talent acquisition. I was the head of talent acquisition for big old companies like Citigroup at one time, Verizon. I wasn't a leader, but I was a lead recruiter, even for a NASA project, a couple of NASA projects actually. And you know, my IBM, I can't forget you guys. That was the first job I ever had out of college was IBM. So can't forget you, IBM. So my job is to
Love it.
let you guys know of something. Now, Amy will do this, has done this, but Dana does a better job of talking about this stuff than I do. I
What
want
are we
you guys to check out search the number 4, the letter U, inc.com. That is a website that I put together 20 or so years ago
Mm-hmm.
to encompass all of our relationships that we build. So there was a point that Dana didn't have a job. A couple of times in the time that I've known Dana, she was looking for a job. Well, Dana got a job, and when Dana needed to hire a certain person, she called Foster and she says, "Foster, I got a job. I want you to post on Search
Yeah.
for You." Because it
Foster's
reaches
great.
the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reaches the
Yeah.
whole network all across the United States.
Yeah.
So
And
you guys might want to consider doing that. You do want to consider doing that, guys.
absolutely. And as Foster and Amy were talking about, it's the connections you make. And, individuals like Foster and Amy and myself that we enjoy attending networking groups, whether we're
Yeah.
actually utilizing the group or supporting the group by volunteering, you meet some of the best of the best. And that's how Amy got here today. And we're so excited to meet you, Amy.
Right.
So I just wanted to learn. So fabulous personality. I can tell that you
Oh, yeah.
being in the role you're in HR is such a good fit. for you, and that people would truly enjoy partnering with you, what are some of the things that you would say are your most passionate about, or are your favorite things about the field that you're in and the types of roles that you've been doing?
I truly love creating departments, HR departments from scratch. And once you build your baby, you're so proud of it, and you can actually enhance it, tinker with it after you build it correctly. You set the foundation. And I've also enhanced companies that have HR, but they were underperforming ones. So I change it to high performing ones to drive organizational success. So those are what I enjoy, whether it be startups, whether it be big companies. But I truly love the process of creating a foundation and building rapport with my team and with the company and the people that work there.
Absolutely. You know, Amy, you guys, if you ever interact with Amy, it's part of her. You can just feel her passion for exactly what she just said. Now, she is the person that you want to represent your internal employees, maybe even some of your client companies. Hey, how do we get this thing done? How can we put this project together to get this thing done with the people that have a background to do it? That is what Amy does. Now, Amy, you stop me if I say something wrong about you.
To me, once you do it with heart and you gave it your all to the company, the rewards will come. The positive vibes will come. You know, you pay it forward, you do what's best for you, and you do what's best for the company. And to me, is giving it and you have no regrets, you know. So I always leave companies better than when I found it. So.
You know, you do.
And
your
that's
last
important.
company, you've been at what for 3? You've been that company for 3 years. Your company right now, right?
Almost 3 years.
Oh, that's awesome. And what would you recommend, Amy? You know, you've been there 3 years, excellent tenure, and you also volunteer and support Job Help Networking Group when you're thinking about the things that you're passionate about, as well as that you just shared, as well as building connections. Share a little bit with the audience from your perspective on why you feel it's important to build those connections in your field of experience, and how you've gone about doing some of that to help some of our listeners out there.
So you can be busy living your life and being busy raising your family, and whether you're tending to an elderly parent and things like that. But in the companies that you work for, you have an obligation. You have to stay impartial, and you have to build relationships. And there are many that I have built. I call them golden nuggets that I bring from each company. Whether I meet the people at the farmer's market or whether I talk to them at my son's soccer game, you know, it's building that relationship. And you don't need to even talk about work. You just talk about life. You share your values, and you share your values and your core. And then that's how it begins. It just develops and blossoms like a flower.
It really does.
I love it. It's so true. Sorry, Foster, go ahead, because this is really good information.
That's what happened with this network, and me and Dana's functionality in it.
Yeah, I had someone from the network recommend to me as a recruiter, hey, you're looking for this type of person. I just went to Careers in Motion. And I was like, oh, what's that? And they're like, it's a job help group over at Watermark Church, which was right across the highway from where I worked. You may want to go check it out. I did, and immediately just met the nicest people. And like Amy said, it wasn't that I talked business the whole time. I just went in, shook hands, listened. I said, hey, I'm a recruiter, and I'm just here to learn more about the networking group. And you know, sure enough, they started asking me to get involved, and I loved it. You know, it was a God thing. So you don't, like Amy said, you don't always have to be talking business when you're networking and meeting people. It's, you know, and if you're one of those, and Amy, give me some advice on this for those individuals that might be a little nervous to go to these kinds of things. I would like to kind of get your take on how you've approached it. For me, I'm not a nervous person. I'm a very outgoing person, but even me, sometimes I prefer to have someone to be there with, because it's nice just to have that person to walk in with. We start conversations and then boom, I start moving around the room. But for me, I'll go by myself. I prefer to have like what I'd call a partner in crime come with me. And they don't even have to be anybody in the industry, but most of the time it's someone like Foster or
Oh
someone
God.
that does a lot of networking and really values it, like Steve Ackley
Perfect
or some other
question for
people.
Amy.
Yeah. So Amy, what would you recommend when you go to some of these different networking groups for the first time, or you attend something for the first time? Do you bring someone? Do you come on your own? And either way, what's your
I
advice on navigating it?
I've done both. So, I
Okay.
mean, if you're nervous, it's always nice to have moral support. Have your
Yes.
friend there who's able to ease your mind and ease your tension.
Yeah.
However, you also have to build confidence in yourself and believe in yourself, because you have to love yourself in order to love others, in order to make the company grow, or in order to build a friendship. So, in that way, I've done it where if you're nervous, think of it just how I'm truly an introvert, and I share that with Foster.
It's
Yeah, she
crazy to
told
me
me
because
that,
you
and I'm
seem
like, I
like an
know you
extrovert.
lying.
So I told
I
him,
would
I
have
said,
never
"Hey, we're
known,
just
girl.
Oh,
yeah,
Mm-mm.
we're just shooting the breeze on the show. That's all we're doing. Talking to two
that's
good
true.
friends that are having a reunion from my past life, because I connected with him
Yes.
and I can talk to him forever. I just met Foster last Friday,
Yeah,
and
me and
here
Amy
we
See,
feel like
are.
and
we
it's
feel
like
like best friends. Yeah.
I feel like we've known Amy forever. And Amy, and one of my favorite things about being on the show, and then I'll be quiet so you can finish what you were saying, is getting to meet some of the amazing people that Foster meets. It's such a blessing. I just love it. It's my favorite part, probably, is just the cool people and the great people like yourself that Foster brings in. Like,
We
I
got to
might
get
not have gotten to
Rochelle
meet
Cornish
you.
on this show too. Well,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, like
planning that. You need to meet Rochelle. Rochelle's
I
wonderful.
can't wait.
So
Yeah.
so what I do, Dana, is they're just human, just like you and I. You know,
Hmm.
they
Mhm.
sleep, they get dressed, they eat. They're just as you and I. So there's
Mhm.
no status. We're all human, and as long as you're cordial and nice and friendly, this is how we teach our kids. You know, be nice to others. However, you have to also be the big person. Sometimes they're
Yeah.
nervous. And you start a conversation. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? You know, what do you think of this? I really,
Yeah.
what do you think of the weather? It's just a simple icebreaker.
I love
And
that.
Uh-huh.
it's just saying, hey, how long did it take you to get here? It's just things like that. And you don't even have to talk about work. You don't even have to talk about where you are, but just start talking. Hey, what do you do for fun? You
Mhm.
know? So
Mhm.
it's just a simple conversation, having a one-to-one
Connect.
conversation
Yeah.
with someone, being personable.
Common
Yeah.
interests. So,
Yeah.
Amy, you brought up something that makes me want to say something. I'm gonna say it as quickly as I can because we're talking about you and not me. But you know what? When you guys are interviewing, you walk in through there and they may say, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." If you walk into that office and you sit down, and if you see a bunch of pictures of fighter jets or golf or maybe space pictures that you see in my office kind of thing, then you know that I have an interest in something that I'm displaying there. So you might want to show the interest or share the interest. Hey, Mr. Hiring Manager, were you a fighter pilot? Because you want to connect if you have an opportunity real quick. You want to connect with that person. Then make
Yes.
sure that you get down to the nitty gritty and you start answering that question that they ask you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, let's talk about how you ended up sitting here talking to me about this particular job. So let's keep it relevant, guys. But in the beginning, let's try to set up a rapport. Let's try to connect somewhere. There usually always is somewhere. Now, this is Foster. This is my strength. Thank you, God, for giving me this gift. But I can tell real quick what we need to be talking about from the very get go.
Foster, before the COVID, when you're interviewing and you're the interviewer, and if you're meeting someone, the interviewee should shake your hand firmly, should look into your eyes, and be able to see your eye color.
Mhm.
That's already a
Absolutely.
connection.
Man,
Eye
good
contact.
piece. And firm handshakes. None of this.
None of that wet fish stuff, huh?
I went to the dentist yesterday. And I just, oh my gosh, I love my dentist. I have a brand new dentist here in Dallas, so amazing. And she has the
Yeah,
most
I got to talk to
amazing
you about her. Yeah.
assistant. Oh, she's amazing and very affordable. And she has an amazing hygienist. However, the only thing, and I didn't say anything because it wasn't like a job related thing. I went to go shake the hygienist's hand, and it was that very, very soft. And I was like, ah. That's so frustrating
I
because you
know.
always want to
It
have,
puts you
you don't
off.
want to
Yeah.
have, yeah, you don't want to have a break bones handshake, but you always want to have a firm handshake. And then Amy mentioned good eye
Greg,
contact.
did you hear that?
Yeah, don't kill anybody, but have good eye contact because both of those things show confidence, poise, and smile. Not creepily like the movie Smile, but just smile and have a good firm handshake. But yeah, you don't want to be limp and you don't want to be too hard. I met this German lady, and I'm German, so I can say that. I remember, and she
Oh
was
yeah.
a taller woman, and I met her shopping, and she went to shake my hand. I I was scared I was going to need a cast after that. I have never had a male. This was a female. I have never had a male shake my hand that hard, let alone a female. And I was just like, "Ah, hi." Anyway, Amy, back to you.
Mackenzie says no limp noodle handshake.
No wet noodle and no hand fractures.
Yeah, y'all, come on now. Some of those guys that I played football with, especially the defensive linemen, I don't know what the deal is with defensive linemen. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. So talk, Amy.
Go girl. She's like, what am I supposed to be talking about? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. So, Amy, have you felt that once you get into some of the networking events, that it just starts to flow a lot more than you would have thought before you got there?
It is because you get more comfortable, you get to talk to others, and you get to know them by first names, but also you get to know how they do. What is it about their life and what brings them there? But it's
Yeah.
also about understanding and having empathy of how can I help you?
Yeah.
What can I
Yeah.
do for you?
I'll tell you, what are some tips on remembering names? Like
Oh yeah.
so as a recruiter for many years, and now, I was blessed to, get into leadership and more strategic operations, and mentoring. And now I'm blessed to be director of talent acquisition. I remember for the most part, everyone I work with. It's when you are meeting a
Yeah.
lot of new
Yeah.
people at once that if I get nervous, I'll draw a blank. And I don't know why I do this. Even if I'm like going to a practice
You're
and
not by
I know the
yourself.
doctor's name, I know the surgeon's name, but as soon as I go to shake a hand, I'll get like a mental block and I'll freak out in my head. I don't show it, but I'll freak out. Any recommendations on good ways to remember names?
For me, I'm a visual person. So being in HR, you see employees' first name and last name before you even meet them at times.
Yeah.
So to me, it's being able to see and visualize, but also know. I see their faces, in our org charts and stuff like that, and I say, "Hey, I really like how you smile," or "I really love your blue eyes," or "Hey, I went through this benefits question that you had, and I wanted to let you know here are some deductions and contributions." It's being able to connect the dots of how you can
There
service
it
that
is.
person and bring pleasure to their life and make their life a lot easier.
I love it. Amy,
There
you're
it is.
awesome.
When
Yeah.
I first met Dana, I remembered because I was into music. I was a DJ at one time. When I went through college, I DJ'd my way through college,
I
believe
don't
it
know
or
if I
not.
heard this story.
And,
Okay.
yeah. And Dana, sometimes I call you Dana Dane because I remember Dana Dane when I was in music, in
Oh,
music, but and
random. I
I,
didn't even know that
yeah,
because
and
I've had other people call me Dana Dane. Only like one other friend.
really
Mhm.
good. I'm not the only one.
I
So,
don't mind. I like it.
you know, there's somewhere you can always equate someone's name to. So, well, not with everybody, but most of the time with me, I equate people's name with something that I know, something I did, somebody else I know. There's neat ways to remember people. And a lot of times I will remember people. I haven't seen some people for 5, 6 years, and I'll remember their husband's name. I'll remember the dog,
Man.
and when that impresses people.
Yeah, I've
Hey,
always had a good memory, excellent memory. I think it's like I get a little bit of anxiety that I'm going to forget and then I forget. Or I'll relay it this way. I have codes to get into the elevator. I have one code to get in and out of the building that is also the same code for the elevators, and then the code to my door. Most of the time I don't think, I just go and hit the button. When I stop to think, I forget it.
Amy, we need to be going.
Yeah. When I
Yes.
stop to think, I forget it. So I have to
Yep.
have my phone with me in case I ever forget so I can look it up. But it's not because I can't remember it. I go into panic mode.
You know, that's a good question to ask Mez. Mez is one of the smartest ladies I've ever met in my entire life. And I wish she was on here with us. She may be, I don't know. But if I'd love to hear how she remembers certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good as humans, too, to take care of yourself holistically. And Amy, if you have anything you want to throw in
Oh my gosh, I missed that question. What was that? What?
I was saying you were crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, there's too bad the music next week. We'll
Have a great weekend. We won't be here next week.
Thank you, Amy.
Love you.
Thank you. To Venus and Grandview to Godly. This is the voice of Johnson County. Joco Community Radio.
Awesome.